Is right? They are talking this deficiency in the inventory system on June. These are the examination papers. It is right. What they are asking us, they are asking us to examine the deficiencies and give recommendations. Is right? Very simple. These are the clear instructions given by these people. Is that spend time planning your answers scenario line by line. Is right? Noting down the potential deficiencies in the system. Also present your answers in the table format using the tables. Is it right? They make it very clear. See, is right? You have to read the scenario. Is right? And you write down the deficiencies, and subsequently you make the recommendations to overcome them. Fine. This is the way it has to be done. Now, when we work out on that, is right? Where is that? It is first the question. Is right? Now, what it says, I will Greystone, is that before we start, is it right? This is what you have to do in the reading time. I'm repeatedly again, every time I'm going to caution you on this, okay? What they are asking is an external auditors of Greystone write a report, is it right? If there is a report, definitely this report consists of how many marks? 2 marks. It has been given very, very clearly here. 2 marks will be awarded for this requirement presentation. It means 2 marks is in your hands. It is without any discussion as such. With respect to purchasing system, which have explained any four deficiencies, what are the implications and what are the recommendations. If you are talking about the 4 into 3, it comes to how many marks? 12 marks plus 2 marks for the presentation. Is right? Only 4. Just imagine, we are not talking about more than 4. You will get more than 4. Okay. Now, Greystone is a retailer and ladies clothing accessories. It operates in many countries around the world and expands steadily for its base in Europe. The main market is 15 to 35-year-old and the prices are in the low range. The company year-end was how much? The company year-end. This is what we are talking about, the entity. Okay. This is the part of every question, as simple as that. Is it? This is about the entity. What they say in the past, it has a bulk order. Is that? You are talking about what? If in the past the company has bulk ordered its clothing and accessories, is it right? Twice a year. Fine. However, if the goods fail to meet the key fashion trends, that has resulted in significant inventory write down. Means you are ordering twice a year, and if definitely it is out of date fashion, winter, summer close winter, definitely inventory will have to be write down. Is it? Means you have to reduce. As a result of this, company has recently introduced just in time. This is one of the inventory system. We use the word just in time, JIT. Okay, JIT, just in time. Is that? It is fine. It is not there in the syllabus, but it is part of the question. Is it right? The fashion buyers make an assessment 9 months. 9 months in advance as what the key trends are likely to be. Is it right? Likely. These goods are sourced from their suppliers, but only limited numbers are initially ordered. They are giving you the scenario. Is it right? Definitely you are selling it in advance. How many? This is one of the deficiencies. Is that you cannot put 9 months in advance. 9 months, so much the fashion designing will change within 9 months. Okay, so it is little bit too advanced. Greystone has an internal audit department, but present their only role to perform regular inventory. Internal audit department, what they have to do? Internal controls also. Is that they have to do internal? They are not going to be only. They are not responsible only for inventory counts. Ordering. What is the ordering process? How they order? They are saying that how they will order and how they will receive. Okay. Each country has a purchasing manager who decides the initial inventory at each store. Purchasing manager doesn't have that much, okay, fine, that much awareness about the fashion trends. Is it right? This is not done in conjunction with the stores or general manager, sales manager. Means what happens? See, purchase manager is deciding on its own. Is it right? Deciding on its own. Is it right? They don't have any communication. No communication. Is it right? No communication with stores manager, nor stores or sales manager. Means when you are ordering the product, you have to take into consideration the confidence of the stores manager. You have to take into consideration the confidence of the sales manager. He is doing on his own. These quantities are communicated to the central buying department at the head office in Europe. What an ordering clerk, see the things, amalgamates all country orders. A ordering clerk is not responsible for do this job. Is it right? He cannot by specific regions or countries such as Central Europe and America, North America, and passes from the purchase director to review and authorize. Fine. That's very good sign that a director is reviewing and director is authorizing. Is it right? As the goods are sold, is it right? As its store manager responsible to reorder the goods through purchase manager. They are prompted weekly to review inventory levels, as although the goods are just in time, it can still take up 4 weeks for goods to be received in force. See, just in time means what? You see what they are saying, what they are telling, they think that they are ordering how much? They are ordering 9 months in advance. Is it right? You order in 9 months in advance, but it will reach it if you are ordering in the month of April. Is it right? It will reach just in time in month of December. Fine. It will reach just in time in month of December. That's the procedure. But what's happening as the goods are sold, its stores manager responsibility to reorder the goods. Through whom? Purchase manager. They are prompted. Fine. They are doing inventory review every week, and they are talking in terms of just in time. You can still make up 4 weeks. Even you are doing all these precautions, it will take 4 weeks. It is not possible to order the goods from other branches or stores, as all ordering must be taken through the central purchase. Means you cannot order the goods from other branches. If the customer requests an item of clothing which is unavailable in a particular store, then the customer is provided with other branch telephone numbers or recommend to try in the company website. Now this system is very much there, is it right? It is very much there. What will happen? See the thing. You are going, very simple, you are going to a city center, is that? You are going to a city center to any clothing brand clothing store, is that? Retail shop. If it is not there in Muscat city center, is it a sheep? Definitely they will say that yes, it is available in Corum. If it is not there in Corum, they will say that it is available in other place. Is it right? It is available in other. Likewise, what they will do, that process is not there. They are not helping the customers. Fine. They are not helping the customer. What they are doing, they are giving the phone number and asking them to do on their own. Because of this, what will happen? See the things. I'm not taking it from the audit point of view, but this is a business risk. Is it right? This is a business risk. Is it? Now, that's the way it will work. Fine. Goods, how they receive the goods, to speed up the ordering of receipts of goods. The goods are delivered directly from the suppliers to individual stores. That's good. On receipts of the quantity received are checked by whom? By the sales assistant. No, sales assistant job is not, is that? See, when you are receiving the goods, who has to receive? It is the stores assistant. Okay? It is the store's assistant or store supervisor who has to receive. Is it right? It's not the sales assistant. And the supplier against the supplier delivery note. The assistant produces the goods received note. He is only doing the job. Is it right? There is no segregation of duties. Is there no segregation of duties? The same person is receiving and the same person is creating the GRN. This is done at quiet times of the day, so to maximize the sales. When there is no sales, they will do this. When there is a sales, they will not do. What is the rule? The rule is you have to do on immediately. Is it right? You have to do immediately. Otherwise, what will happen? The sequence will get affected. Is it right? In terms of what? In terms of accuracy and in terms of what? In terms of completeness. Is that this is done at quiet times, means when there is no customers will be there, during that time it will do. Is it right? The check GRNs are sent to head office for matching with the purchase invoices. As the purchase invoices are received, they are manually matched. We should not match manually to GRNs. Is it right? We have to match through the system. Is that fine? This can be very time consuming process, as some suppliers may be delivered to how many? To over 5,500 stores. Definitely, completeness will not be there. Is it right? Completeness will not be there, and most importantly, what will not be there? Cutoff will be not there. What the rule of cutoff says? The rule of the cutoff says that it has to be daily entered. That you have to enter all the invoices daily, as on the day. We should not carry forward to the next day. Once the invoice this is what you have to be very clear. Is it right? Which type of assertions we are going to use over a period of time. Okay, which type of assertion? Automatically, what will happen? You will have clarity. All questions will have the same reflection. No difference will be there. Once the invoice has been agreed, then it is sent to the purchasing director for authorization. It is at this stage the invoice is entered. See what happened? First you have to enter it. Is it right? First you have to enter it, then you have to make sure that the things has to be done at the purchasing director level. Fine. Now they have given you this type of scenario. Is that first you will read the question. Don't read the scenario in the beginning. First read the question. First read the questions for all three requirements for all three questions. Then if you have the time, then you read the scenario. When you are reading the scenario, see on the computerized one, you can do the marking also, highlight the things. Fine. This is where it says. Now what they are asking us the deficiencies. 4 deficiencies. Is that now? If you take into consideration, we will put numbers also, so that we can identify how the things will work. Is it right? Their goods have failed to meet the fashion, the inventory will be write down. This is one of the deficiency. There are so many things. The fashion buyer makes an assessment 9 months in advance. Key trends to be likely to be. These goods are sourced from the suppliers, but only limited numbers are initially ordered. Why you are ordering limited numbers? There is an implication. What is the implication? Implication is if the demand is more and you don't have the stock, what will happen? Definitely you are losing your customers. Is it right? You are losing your customers. 3 things have to be there. You have to explain the deficiency, implication, and recommendation. Greystone has an internal audit department. Is it right? Internal audit department. Internal audit department is only performing regular inventory. Is it right? Implication is what? Implication means they are not taking care of internal control. They are not overseeing other departments. Is it right? What is the recommendation? The internal audit department not only have to perform regular inventory, but they also have to take into consideration other internal control activities. Simple English, simple answer. Don't say that we have to do some, we should not outperform it. Very simple English. Okay. Now, ordering process. What they say, each country is a purchasing manager will order the things, and with no communication with whom? With no communication with the sales or stores manager. This is all. You see, you are ordering it, you should have a common understanding. What we should know, whether any stock is there in the stores. To that we have to interact with, we have to communicate with the stores manager. Sales manager know what is the trend, what is the fashion trend. Is it right? Based on that, we should have a communication with the sales manager. That is the deficiency. The quantities are communicated to the central buying department at the head office. Fine. The ordering clerk ordering clerk cannot do the things. Is it right? It's a big job. Is it right? You are talking ordering clerk amalgamates all country orders. Fine. It's really a deficiency. Is that implication is maybe ordering clerk does not have that much responsibility to do that. Is it right? That not be skill based. Implication. Is it right? Implication means there will be some mismatch between the requirements and the accuracy as such. What is the recommendation you have to do? You have to say that ordering clerk should do this job, but a manager or the senior level person should review it. Is it right? That is the simplest one. The lower level person can do the job, no question about it, but once the job is done, the higher level person should review it. That is the recommendation we have to give. As the goods are stored, it is in the stores manager responsibility to reorder the goods to purchasing manager. They are prompted weekly to review. Although the goods are just in time, it will take how many hours? Even you are doing it, sometimes what will happen? You are ordering and you are receiving. Is it right? You are ordering and you are receiving. Definitely there will be a gap. See the things, very simple. Very simple. You can understand the things. During summer, is it right? During summer, you have clothing stores. Is it right? During summer, they will give off on what? They will give you off on winter clothes. And during winter, they will give off on summer clothes. As the summer is approaching, is it right? See what happens as the summer, you have ordered for winter, is it right? But as March comes, as February, forget about March, February, March, April will come. Is that what they will do? Definitely during that time they will give offers. Is it right? They will give offers. They will give offers on what? They will give offers on winter clothes, because they want to remove those clothes. That is it right? They want to replace the shelf space for the summer clothes. Is it right? This is where it will work. If the customer requests an item of clothing which is unavailable in the particular store, then the customer is provided with the brand. See now another one, and most of the times it will happen. Is it right? At least I noticed this. If I go to some city center sheep and I want to ask that I want this size of my shirt, they'll say that they will immediately check on the system. They said that no, it is not there here. It is there in the forum. You can collect from forum, or you wait. We will get from forum within some time. Okay. This is the way you should not lose the customers. Is it right? That means what happens? It makes sense that we are thinking really about the objective of the sales. Is it? This is what it says. Apart from that, see now you are getting 5-6 things, almost 6 deficiencies. Now, what I told you yesterday, in one of the classes, is it right? Whenever they ask 4 questions, 4 deficiencies, take 2 from here, is it right? Take 2 from here, take 2 from here. Is it right? It makes sense. Is it right? They expect, is it right? The ACCA examiners will expect that how you are balancing how you have the knowledge about the ordering process and how you have the knowledge about goods receiving process. Fine. What it says, it has been checked by the stores assistants. Is it right? It should not be. It has checked by the sales assistant. It should not be checked by the sales. It has to be checked by the stores assistant. No segregation of duties. Is that number 8? They are not doing it immediately. Number 9. Is it right? And manually it has been matched. Number 10. Is it? You have once the invoice is agreed, that it has sent to the authorization. At this stage, they are talking in terms of entering into a purchase ledger. Assume that if you take grossly also, you will get 11. We have to write only 4. Take the best 2 from. You see, you have to give your best in the examination. That's you have to be, nobody will tell you. You have to decide. It is your judgment. Fine. Now, what is there? Just go there. See, I am very clearly following the question numbers. Very clearly. No plus, no minus. I will never going to go beyond that. Okay. Now, it says, is it? I told you this. Is it? You have to make sure that the format. Is it? By doing this, you will have a very clear cut format here. I don't want to say anything here. Is that the date, the address? Is it right? The address? Is it the date, the source? What is this? Is the subject? Is it right? This is the subject, and please find enclosed the report to the management. You have to write word by word like this, and in the end. Again, I am saying, in the end, we should say that if you go further, please note that this only addresses significant deficiencies identified during. If further testing has been performed, then more deficiencies may have been reported. If you write these sentences, automatically you will get 2 marks. Automatically 2 marks is blindly with you. Okay, it is in your hands. Now, what they have mentioned, they have mentioned so many things. Is it right? I will go through quickly. Please find the thing. The report considered deficiencies in the which system? Purchase system, its implications and its deficiency. Is it right? I will next quiz. I will send you. I will ask you to write the report. Okay, I want to see that how best it can be done. Now, one by one you can put it at that. Is it right? One by one you can make the things very clear. Is it right? What is the? I will just highlight it. Now we have discussed. We don't need that much time here. It says that purchasing manager decides. Purchasing manager is deciding. Is it right? With the stores without discussion. It is a deficiency. Is it right? The purchasing manager may not have the appropriate knowledge. Fine. That as simple as that. What is the implication? If your purchasing manager is happening, the ordering sold, they are not likely to sell. That he doesn't know. His job is not to order. Is it right? And what will happen subsequently? You have to give sales, you have to give offer discounts to dispose it off. Is it right? If customer pursue that the goods are not meeting the fashion trends, what will happen? They will not cease to shop at the Greystone at all. As simple as that. It's very clear. Is that people are very, very selective about the clothes. Very selective. Is that you cannot imagine. They don't want to take anything which is out of fashion. Is it right? Out of trend. Is it right? They are very selective when we are talking. That is the reason we have to understand the entity as such. What is the recommendation we have done? The purchase manager should hold initial meeting. with the area manager of the stores. If store manager is not practical, he should understand the local markets before jointly goods to be purchased. The purchase manager should initially hold a meeting with the area manager of stores. If meeting all stores managers of, if you take into consideration Oman, if you cannot have all stores manager, at least you can have the available stores managers, and based on the stores managers we have to agree. Is it right? Now, what is the second one they are talking about? Is it? What is the slowly and steadily? It is not at all. You have to plan. I'm telling you again and again. The purchase orders are only reviewed and authorized by the director in a wholly aggregated manner by specified regions or countries. See what they are saying, their purchase orders are reviewed and authorized by purchase director. In only means aggregate means what? Overall. Is it we are taking into consideration all the regions? Is that what is the implication? If he is doing that, is it? Then what will happen? It is difficult for the director to assess the overall correct buying decisions. Is it? And all orders is not being presented, and he is only his job is to authorize. It is right. His job is not. See, two things are there here. One, you are talking in terms of review, and one we are talking in terms of authorization, segregation of duties. Review should be done by some person, authorization should be done by another person. What it says, this could result in significant levels of goods being purchased that are not for a particular market. We are talking in terms of what? We are talking about the regions. Is it? When you are talking in terms of regions, assume you are talking in terms of GCC. See, you cannot say Oman preferences will be different, UAE different preferences will be different, Kuwait difference. Is that there is a lot of taste and preferences will be different. Is that we should not take it on regions. Is that we have to take individually for standalone basis. A purchase senior manager. Is it? You are not talking about the director. A purchase senior manager should review and director has to authorize. Fine. You getting my point? A purchase senior manager has to review. Is it? And the director will authorize. Is it? This is what it says. Means automatically what we are doing? We are talking in terms of segregation of duties. Now you will understand the theory why we have done that. Is it right? This is the second point. Next, any doubt is there? You just stop me. Okay, fine. The third point. The stores manager is responsible for reordering the goods through purchase manager. If the stores manager forget who is there, nobody is there. Is it right? To take up the ordering process. And how many weeks it will take? You delay for 1 week, automatically it will go for another week. Is it right? The stores could experience significant stocks out of the leading to loss of outcome. Means you have only one person is responsible for the reordering. Is it right? No, you should have two people. Is it right? Who is there? Who has to remind it? Who is the responsible to make it upon? Somebody senior. Is it right? What it says, we are not talking in terms of manual. Is it? They say that when you are doing like this, there should be automatic reorder levels in your management and cost accountancy. Whenever you are talking in terms of inventory, is that whenever you are talking in terms of inventory, maybe you have done, is that you have done something called as a reorder level. Is that you are talking in terms of maximum level. Is it right? We are talking in terms of minimum level. Have you done this? Yes or no? Have you done this? Where are you people? No one is there? Yeah. Is it right? Now, yes. Okay. Have you done this? Reorder level, maximum level, minimum level, danger level. Is it right? What is the system it has to be done? The system says that there should be an automatic reorder levels. If there is a read order level, automatically a trigger should go, okay, that you have to reorder. An alert should come, as simple as that. Is it right? And what have to be the alerts? Is it right? The alerts should be raised. Is it right? Whenever the inventory goes at a reorder level. Otherwise, what will happen? See the thing. You have to be like this. Is it right? Where it is there? You have to be 1 minute. Is it? You have to be like this: maximum level, minimum level, reorder level, and danger level. The moment you are talking in the minimum level, it has to be, they have to give alert. You are giving the reorder level, automatically you have to be. Otherwise, what will happen? You will go for a danger level where there will be no stocks. Is it? Where there will be no stocks. Thus, as the goods reach the reorder level, the purchase manager should receive an automatic request to order the goods. That has to be done. Is it right? That is what we are talking in terms of what? Computer assisted audit techniques. Is that? We are talking about what? We are talking about computer assisted audit techniques. That's where we are concerned about it. Next one, what is the fourth one? Is it right? What is the fourth one? It says that, is it? It says that you have to write only 4, okay? It is not possible for a store goods to from other local stores for the customers who we have told. I told you this, is that instead they have to told the contact the stores to use the company website. No, you should not have. What happens if you have a system like this where you cannot help the customers? Customers are likely to contact individual stores themselves, and this could result in company losing valuable sales. This is going to be a call as a. We are not writing this. Is it right? You should not write this. Business risk, all those things. Is that you? Is that you have? I'm making you understand. In addition, some goods which are slow moving in one store may be out of stock in the other. Is it? Definitely, what will happen? You have to identify store A, store B, and store C. Definitely, here it is slow moving. Is it? It is slow moving. Whereas maybe here it is fast moving. What they say, there should be a flexibility. Is that there should be a flexibility that yes, you can transfer from one store to another store. Ultimately, we want the business, as simple as that. That is the recommendation we have to make. What is the recommendation we are doing? An inter-branch transfer system should be established, and this will help stores whose goods are below reorder level. Means you should not wait for the head office to do. We should not wait for the regional office to do. We have to coordinate within the local markets. Is that? That is one of the deliveries from the suppliers. Is that? Deliveries from the suppliers. Is that? Deliveries from the supplier. It is all same. Is that? It is all same. Is it? It says that, fine. It says that delivery for the suppliers accepted without being checked first. Now you have to check what it says. You have to check against what? You have to take purchase invoice. Purchase invoice should be matched. Is it right? Should be matched with goods received note. Is that? Purchase invoice should be matched. In addition, they are then checked by the who is checking? Sales assistant. Is it right? supplies delivery note to agree the quantities. They are talking in terms of quantities, but they are not taking into consideration quality. In some cases, you have to build the story also. Is it right? They will give marks. There's no doubt on that. Is it right? Sales assistant is producing GRN. Is it right? On the receipt of the suppliers of delivery note. Is it right? Now, what is the implication? The stores are receiving goods without checking, and these are correct. Without checking that these are correct. Hence the delivery is means you are not having any confirmation. Is it that you are just receiving without whether you have to match it with the sales invoice should be matched with the goods received note. Is it right? This has not been done. What happened if it is not done? In future there will be a dispute. Is it right? In future if the sales assistants are only checking quantities, then goods which are not saleable conditions may be accepted. You are focusing on what? You are focusing on quantities. You are not focusing on quality also. Whether received in good condition or not. Is it right? You have to verify, check it. At least you have to, for a sample of goods received notes, you have to verify it. Is it right? The assistants may not have the experience. This job is not to be done by assistants. Is it right? This has to be done by a supervisor. Is it right? That is what it says. And this is an important document used in the invoice authorization process. Errors can lead to underpayment. Means when you are making a point like this, today you will receive the quantity and not checking the quality, definitely you will reject it. Is it right? If that is the case, maybe without going through the process, we will pay, and subsequently we can realize that the goods are not up to the quality. There will be a dispute. Is it right? There will be a dispute. What is the recommendation? Recommendations are very specific. Is it right? Deliveries from suppliers should only be accepted by what? During the time. First 2 hours. Very specific. It is very crucial. Is it right? It is very crucial as such. We should not take any chances. We have to give that recommendation. The goods should be checked on arrival, both in terms of quantity as well as in terms of quality. A responsible official at each store should produce GRN from the supplier delivery information. Is that a person should a responsible person? It's not the clerk who is going to take care of this activity. Whenever we give recommendation, see, a clerk, assistant, these people are only doing the basic jobs. They are not supposed to do any, they are not authorized to do any responsible review jobs as such. Is that goods are being received without checks, maybe against the purchase order. Is that we are receiving the goods without any proper checks. Again, what will happen? It will have impact on its requirements. Is it right? This could result in receiving and subsequently paying for the goods. Something which we have not ordered, for that also we will pay. Something which we have ordered but we are not receiving the same thing. Is it right? Something which we are ordering. Is it right? We are ordering something and we are receiving something else. Is it? We are receiving something else. We are not matching properly. Is it right? There will be a mismatch. In addition, if the no checks is made, the company have significant purchase orders which are outstanding. If you are not doing it, is that what is happening? We have to receive and subsequently paying for the goods. In this case, we have done. They should be done in a sequential manner. Is that if you are doing it in a sequential manner, then it will make sense. Is it right? A copy of the authorized order should be sent to the stores. This should be checked against what? Is it right? Means you in goods In stores, what will be there? In the stores, goods received note will be there. Is it right? The order should be sent to the head office and logged. Means again, you are here, you are receiving the E, then you are sending it to what? You are sending it to the head office, accounts department. Is it? Account department. When we are sending it to the account department, they have to mention that it has been received. They have to put a stamp, yes, received. Is that the invoices which are receiving from the stores department to the head office department, those only has to be accepted, and those are the valid. See, these are the things you will be very cautious when you are talking in terms of payments and receipts. Before you make payments, you will have as many test of controls as possible. Is it right? On the regular basis, the purchase clerk will review the order file for any outstanding order. We should not delay the payments as such. Fine. Now, these are the nitty-gritty things. How many are over? Almost, see the thing. We have done how many? We have 4. Is it right? This is 5. Is it? This is 5. This is 6. Is it right? This is 6. You have, this is 7 and this is 8. Yeah, purchase orders are manually matched. Is it right? This is what it says. Manually matched. Is it? If there are high volumes of GRNs from the individual stores, a manual check process increases the risk of error. Is that a manual check process should increase the risk of error? This has to be done automatically matched by the system. See what happens, there is a process, is it right? You are talking about GRNs, is it right? Once you have done, once you are, how automation will work, is it right? How automation will work. Once you are saying it is approved, is it right? Then it will go to the head office. Head office, there is a specific person. He will say that yes, it is okay. Is it? Then it will go to the accounts. Is it right? Then they will verify. Then it will go to the payment system. Is it right? Means the system should work from one stage to another stage. Automatically it has to be matched. We should not say that we are doing it manually. We have to reduce the manually the checking as much as possible. Is it right? The last one, the purchase invoice is only logged into the system at as it is being authorized by the purchasing director. You are entering when? You are entering after the purchase director has authorized it. Is it right? What will happen? There will be a implication is what? There will be some misplacements. The moment you receive it, you have to enter it. Understand point? Later on, you have to review it. First, you have to enter it, then you have to review it, then you have to authorize it. Payables may not be settled on a timely basis. In addition, year-end purchase ledger may be understated as invoices. This is what? This is the option for what? This is the option for cutoff, and this is also, it talks about what? It talks about completeness. We should not going to mention all these things, but that implication will be reflected here. Upon receipt of the invoice, it should be logged onto the file upon receipt of an invoice, this should be logged into a file of mismatched invoices, if any. As it is matched and authorized, it should then be moved to the purchase ledger. Means what happens, when you are receiving it, definitely your purchase invoice should be matched with what? Your purchase invoice should match with the order as such. Is it right? With the what is purchase invoice should be matched with purchase invoice should match with purchase order. If purchase order and purchase invoice is same, then you should move it to the purchase ledger. Getting my point? See, we are making sure that this is where we have to understand. We are making sure at the very micro level, at the basic of the basic level, so that nothing should go wrong. Tomorrow, the purchase ledger should not reflect that it is not been entered. Is it? You should, stores manager should not say that we have not received the goods. At every level, what is requirement is, it is the matter of documentation. This is what we are learning. Documentation has to be done precisely at each stage. If at the year end, unmatched invoices should be accrued for, means you have to say, in some cases, it will not match. Is it right? We should not delay payments. Sometimes they will be, because of some nitty-gritty things, they will not get matched. You have to go to the source. You have to identify what are the unmatched invoices. You have to match with the purchase order invoices, and subsequently we have to make sure that every purchase order which we have received, those purchase orders has to be paid. Is it right? We should not delay the payment. Got my point? These are the 8. We have to identify any 4. Is it clear?
Yes, clear.
People are very silent today. Fine. Are you supposed to do? See, this is a basic step. Is it? I see. You know now. I can judge. I can judge from your response. See, you can see. I am very experienced in online teaching. Trust me, the COVID has given me very good experience. Is it right? And I know. That's why I used to say my online teaching is 100 times better than my offline teaching. People like offline teaching, but my online teaching is, I will give you the notes, I will write the things, I will make sure that the moment you are not interacting, I can sense. Yes, good, exactly. Is it right? COVID has given us so much. Is it right? Choosing the right smiley is also a talent. Okay, that's very important. Fine. Okay, now coming back to this. Okay, this is what we have done. Is it right? I will send you the question paper. I will send you precisely. Make it a point. Precisely follow the question paper pattern. No plus, no minus. I am very, very particular about that. Fine. Now, when you do the things, this is where we have stopped yesterday. Is it right? Is that? This is the way we have done. Which question paper we have done? We have done question paper related to December 2010. Is it right? On Saturday I will do another question paper. Okay? On section B only. This Saturday section B only we will do, inshallah. Okay? Very specific. How the cash will work. Is it right? How the cash system will work. What are the things we should undertake, controls and test of controls. Is it? Controls and test of controls with respect to cash. The following slides looks at the controls. Controls around cash payment. Is it right? Cash payment and receipts are designed to help definitely theft or fraud. We are not suspecting, but we are making sure that how the things will work with respect to cash. First, we will look into controls, cash payment. Then we will talk about cash receipts. Means you have two different things. Whenever you are paying, how we will pay. I don't know how many of you have worked. See, you will directly involved in this. Okay? What happens? What is the objective? Same procedure. Objective, controls, test of controls. Fine. Now, to ensure that the only cash payments are made, only valid. Is it? Again, very simple. As we know, there should be a segregation of duties, supplier statement independent review and reconciled with respect to what? Payables. The moment you are talking in terms of payments, is it? The payments, we are talking in terms of home, in terms of payables. Individually, is it right? We have to take into consideration independently each supplier once. They have to review and they should reconcile. Reconciliation is the part of every other control objective, and it has to be done at every stage as such. What we are going to do, whenever we are talking about the payments, there should be a monthly bank reconciliation. You know this, is it? You have to take monthly preparation and you have to review. Only authorized staff able to make electronic cash payments. Designated, is it? Everyone will have that authorization. Is it? Every organization, one or two persons who are authorized to make the payments. Is it right? Electronic cash payments and checks prepared only after the source document have been approved. Means there is a payment approval has to be there whenever we are talking in terms of the valid. How you are doing? First you have to observe and evaluate whether one person is preparing and another person is paying. Is a segregation. One person should not hold to the two tasks. Very, very crucial. Is it? And this is where we will come up in the every question you will have this deficiency will be there. Review the procedure for reconciling. There are two reconciliations. One is a reconciliation with the supplier and one reconciliation with the cash. Is it right? One reconciliation with the bank. Okay. Review reconciliation for supplier and review reconciliation with respect to the bank. Is it right? Undertaken and reviewed. Review delegated list of who are the authority, who has the authority to do the cash payments. Is it right? And who has the authority for electronic payments? Is it? Who has the authority for cash payments? Who has the authority for electronic payment? Because what happens whenever you are talking is a restriction. Is it right? If it is less than 5,000 reals, is it right? Reals, one person will be there. Is it right? One person can sign the check. If it is more than 5,000 reals, is it right? What will happen? Two persons should sign the check as such. This is what it says. And whenever you are making the payments, is it right? The supporting documents has to be there. Is it right? The evidence has to be there. Is it right? When you are talking in terms of payments, is it? You have to make sure that the source document is there and source document has been approved. Is it right? Source document has been approved by the senior person. Then only there is a concept of what? Valid cash payment. Is it valid cash payment? That is the occurrence. Okay. What is the completeness? Completeness means whether it has been recorded. Is it? Again, the same thing. The same person should not do. You have to write. They will mention that one person is doing. Then you have to give that recommendation. Is it right? That is we have to identify the deficiency. They are talking about the segregation of duties. You have to make sure that completeness. You have to be independently reviewed. Is it right? This is where we are talking in terms of what? This is where we are talking in terms of control accounts. Fine. You have to make a monthly reconciliation. Very simple, is it right? These are the standard ones, is it right? They will not ask you all, is it right? Very simple. Now you have the very clear idea. They will ask you any four. Understand point? They ask you any four, not any six. Maximum six. Maximum. Is it? Not more than that. Is it right? That when they ask, see, we are talking in terms of what? When they say implications, deficiencies, and recommendations. If they do like this, they will ask for. If they ask you what is the deficiency, and they will ask only the recommendations, is it right? Only the recommendations, they will ask maximum 6. Okay, maximum 6. They will not ask you. You are not supposed to. Don't get panic that we have to remember all these things. No, it is our convenience. That's all. Is that review cash payments by managers before the release? The manager has to review before cash has been released. You have to reconciliation. You should not only do reconciliation on monthly basis, but also daily cash payments reconcile with what payables account. And this is what it talks. We are talking in terms of what? We are talking in terms of pre-numbered checks. On the checks, there should be numbers. Is that if you now most of you maybe most of you are having the checks. Is it right? When the bank will issue checks, they will issue the checks with the check number and name. Both will be there. Is it right? Only those checks, pre-numbered checks, and should be considered as such. What are the test of controls? What is the job of the auditor? You have to observe there is a segregation of duties. You have to review procedures for reconciliation with suppliers. You have to review reconciliation with the bank. Is it right? You have to see the sample of listings, whether it has been done by the senior person. You have to review a sample of reconciliation for evidence in terms of banks. Is it right? In terms of, no, 1 minute. Sample, see this is where it says, is right? I will put like this, is right? For everywhere, you should make sure that how it is going to be worked, is right? If there is, you have to make sure that there is a cash payment and payables account. For the sample of reconciliation, you should make that these are the cash payments against cash payments, is right? Cash payments against what? Against the payable account. Most importantly, use the pre-numbered checks. You have to have evidence that the pre-numbered checks have been used. Then only we can make sure that it is a completeness. Now, what classification is that? Accuracy. Accuracy is mathematical accuracy. Now, see, is it right? I know you are right, but we are going to have very easy way. Is it right? Classification in terms of what? Classification in terms of item codes, in terms of amount. The same structure we will follow. Okay, is it? To ensure that the cash payments are recorded correctly in the ledger. Definitely, it is a cash. Is it right? When there is a cash, definitely there is a reconciliation on daily payments. Do the cash, electronic cash payment transfers and checks used. Is that means you should do. Supplier statement should be again reconciled on a regular basis. Is that so that there should not be any match? Is that the payables and the receivables of the receivables should not have any difference? Is it right? Monthly bank reconciliations of the ledger account. Is it right? Monthly. What you have to do when you are saying that reconciliation of daily payments, you are going to review those. Supplier statement reconciled, again you will review. And monthly payments, whether it has been done or not, again you will Review for what? Review for evidence. Is it right? Is it? This is what the concept is. Lastly, how we are talking in terms of, it says that when we are making the cash payments, is that the cash payments are posted to the correct payable accounts or not in general ledger financial statements. Is that you are paying, assume you are paying to Mr. X, is it right? And you have to make sure, this is, we are talking in terms of cash book, is it right? In terms of now in the payables, is it right? In the payables, we have to make sure that X is paid, is it right? We have to make sure that what will happen, you have a debit and credit, is that payables will be 900, is it right? When you are paying, definitely what will happen, it is that this is what we are talking in terms of payments. Automatically the account should be nullified. Is that you have to check at the end of the month, is it right, whether it has been rightly paid and rightly posted, and automatically at that this is what we are talking in terms of reconciliation. Supplier statements reconciled to the payables. You have to agree monthly cash payments. You should know, is it that what we'll do? We have paid for A, B, C. Is it? We have paid for 900, 800 and 700. Is that it will come to how much? It will come to 2400. Is that we have to see what we have to do? We have to verify it. We have to verify that the payables are 2400. The cash payments are how much? 2400. Means if payables are 2400, if cash payments are 2400 and individual payments are 2400, it means what we are doing, we have reconciled it. Wherever there is a linkage, is it right? Automatically what will happen? Apart from that, what we have to do? We have to make sure that cash has been decreased by how much? 2400. How many places we are making it a point? We are taking, this is the first place, this is the second place, this is the third, and this is the fourth place. All should be matched. That is why we are talking about reconciliation. Reconciliation means everywhere the entries should be posted, and everywhere the entry has to be recorded with accuracy. Is it right? That is why we are concerned with the general ledger. In all the cases, we are going to do what? We are going to make it. What is the cutoff? Cutoff is nothing but the date. Right? We are very well. Now the concept will not change. Understand what? The basic fundamental will not be changed. Only the scenario and the application will change. When we are talking about the cutoff, it has to be recorded in the current accounting period. Again, we have to make sure. Why? See, the purpose of what? The purpose of bank reconciliation. We are preparing bank reconciliation. We are preparing bank reconciliation only to make sure that what happened at the end of 31st December should be taken. Sometimes you will receive the check. You will receive the check, but you will not deposit. Sometimes you will issue the check. You see that sometimes you issue a check, but it has not been cleared. A lot of issues will be there. Is it right? This is the one of the reasons why we are talking in terms of what? Why we are talking about reconciliation. Every time the rule says that the reconciliation has been done on monthly basis. The last one, presentation and disclosure, to ensure that it has been charged to the correct accounts as such. It is where we are in terms of statement of financial position. Is it? Means every account, is it right? Every account will have unique code. There will not be any. In the moment you are creating a list, in the list you will have everything will have a unique code as such. Is it right? Presentation in the balance sheet, you have to make sure that what are the controls. You should have a chart of accounts. Every account will have a unique code, and there should be every payment should have a approval and review. Review and approval, it should not be taken into consideration. Review the cash payments with respect to what? With reasonableness of charging of account. Means you have to receive the general and say that yes, every transaction, is that every transaction is having the code or not. What independent approval? Review the assignment of general ledger account even at the time of posting. Is it right? At the time of posting in the financial statements. See, it is practically it will be done online. Is it right? Real time. Okay. Practically, if you the moment you are in the computerized environment, is it computerized information? What happens the moment the will buy, is it right? I am talking in terms of at the international level. Is it at the international? You take into consideration Toyota is buying spare parts here. The moment Toyota is buying spare parts here, the entire inventory system of the Toyota brand will get updated. Understand? The entire they will just sit at the office. They will order it. Who are the people? Some people will order stores. You have Oracle system. SAP is there. Is it right? SAP is there. Oracle is there. These are the softwares where it has been integrated worldwide. Wherever you are, is it? You are making the payments automatically. It will go through the route. Everyone. Somebody will verify. Somebody will review. Somebody will authorize. Is it right? Somebody will review, and subsequently it will be done in the through the payments. Is it right? That is the why the system is so structured. Is it? These are with respect to what? Payments. Is it right? Coming to the receipts. How we are talking? Receipts are not that much difficult. Is it right? Payments are very, very comparatively. Is it right? Comparatively, payments are more sensitive. Receipts are also sensitive. I'm not saying that receipts are, but they'll focus more on payments. Examination, I'm talking in terms of examination point of view. They will focus more on payment. There is no difference as such. Is it right? When we are talking about when the valid cash receipts are received and deposited. We are talking in terms of what? See, the problem is with respect to what? With respect to cash. Again, we have to make sure that there should be a segregation. You understand? One person will receive, one person will deposit. Is that right? One person will receive, one person will record, one person will deposit. Use of electronic cash receipts transferred, not received or deposited. See, as simple as that is. Use of electronic cash receipts transfers. You are receiving not only physical cash, but you are also having electronic cash receipts. are using the swiping machines. Is it right? You are talking in terms of what? You are talking in terms of bank transfers. Is it? You are talking in terms of bank transfers. Is it right? We have to, sometimes what will happen, there is a receipt will be there, but maybe they will not, it will not get processed properly. Is it right? Because of some invalid data. Because of only what? Because of invalid data. There will be something which has been not done. Is it right? Those we have to verify. What is the reasons? Why it has not been done? In the same way, there should be a monthly bank reconciliation. Note down this thing. These are the simplest way of writing the answers. Is it simplest way? Use of cash registers, or you are talking in terms of what? Point of sale devices. In terms of what? Controls. Is it right? When you are having, see what we are doing when you are using the electronic transfers. Is it right? You are minimizing what? You are minimizing physical cash handling. That is what the government told. Is it right? What the government says in section that is the reason you go to every other shop, every other place, whether it is 200 baza, 500 baza, they will, if you say that I want to use my card, they will say yes, you can use it. Is it right? Previously it was not there. I don't know whether you remember or not. Once upon a time they used to say that if it is only more than 5 reals, you can use card. But now the system has completely changed. Is it right? Periodic inspection of the sales procedure from time to time. How? It is nothing but walk to test. This is what, the moment you are talking in terms of something, you should remember where we have discussed. Is it right? Restrict to endorsement of checks immediately on receipt. Is it? The moment you receive the check, you should not say that you have received the amount. You have to deposit. Is it? You have to deposit, and it has to get what? It has to get in cash, converted into cash. Mail, if you are receiving any mail, definitely 2 people should be there to open that mail. Is it right? Even in immediate preparation of cash book or list of mail receipt. When you are receiving any cash, you have to update it immediately. Is it right? You have to make an update. Independent checks of agreement of cash and checks. Whenever you are depositing at the bank, there should be a independent person. Staff members should do an independent check of agreement of what? Bank deposit slip. If you are depositing, definitely you will get the deposit slip. Is it right? See the things. Now I will tell you. When you withdraw amount, is it right? When you withdraw amount from the ATM or ATM, you will, in some cases, you will not get the receipt. But whenever you deposit amount in the CDM, they will not ask. They will automatically, they will give you the receipt. Is it right? This is. And what are the test of controls with respect to occurrence of the receipts? Observe and evaluate segregation. Examine application controls with what? How the electronic cash receipts are done. Is it right? You are doing by payments. Is it right? You will get, the moment there is an electronic, you will get, is it right? You will get a message, SMS. Is it? You will get a message by email. Is it right? You will get a message by email, and automatically what will happen? Your will also get updated. This is called as test of controls. Is it? This is called, means electronically you are getting. See what happens whenever there is a receipt. Is it right? You will get that this has been cash, this much deposited in. You will get SMS, you will get email, and you get the statement. Is that? Now review monthly bank reconciliation. The same thing. Is it? Observe what are the cash sales procedures, how the sales procedures are going to be worked it out. Is that if there is any mismatch, you have to what? You have to inquire with the managers. Is it? You have to inquire with managers about how they are doing the inspections. Is it right? They are making the inspections, how they are making sure that things are in place. Two people are going to open the mail. You have to observe. Is it observe mail opening procedure, whether it has been done as per the instructions. We are talking in terms of the preparation of the cash receipt record. Means we have to see that whether these things have been done as per the requirement. We are talking in terms of whenever there is a independent evidence, you have to review the documentation. And we have to review the documentation with respect to what? With respect to the reconciliations. These are the things that means whenever you are handling the cash, is it? Whenever you are receiving the cash, definitely it should. Why we are doing this? If we are doing this, the only purpose is the error and fraud will be. Everywhere, whenever we are handling, whenever what is it, all the cash receipts are recorded. Is it? One has to enter and one has to review. Authorize. Is it right? That's what it says. Is it whether we have to make sure that yes, things are done or not. Whether we are receiving cash or it isn't problem. If there are by one person, the second person should be there to make the corrections. That is the reason of segregation. Use of electronic cash receipt transfer, not deposited. Which has been not received or deposited. Is that if you have received the cash but it has not been processed, is it right? It has not been processed. It has not been transferred to the correct account. Is it right? Sometimes it will happen. You are receiving, customer is paying. Is it right? Customer is paying. Right? Customer is transferring. Customer is transferring cash. Maybe there will be a there will be a wrong code has been entered. Is it right? What happens? Definitely it will not be posted. Whenever you are making a payment, is it? Whenever you are making a payment, what the message will be there? It is processing. Do not exit. Is it? Do not exit. It is processing. Once it is processed, then you can exit. Maybe in some cases, when you have made a payment, you have exited in the middle. Processing will not be completed. Is it halfway processing there? If that is the case, what are the implications? Is that in that case there should be a manual intervention. These are the nitty-gritties. The moment you be there on the reality, the things you will face. Is it right? The challenges you will face. Daily receipts. You have to do monthly bank reconciliation. You have to do daily cash receipts. You have to do with postman and you have to update the customer accounts. Customers are prepaid and they have to send it. Because what will happen is that we are talking our receivables, is that our receivables and client payables should be reconciled. That is the basic objective of this. You are observing the segregation of duties. You are observing the controls of electronic transfers. You will review the bank reconciliation statements. You will review reconciliation with to what? With respect to the posting. Is it right? With respect to the posting to whom? With respect to the customer accounts. And you are inquiring about how the management is handling the customer statement. Are they handling on the monthly basis or handling on the daily basis? Is that if every day to day, see, you see this one, you see the bank. I don't know how many of you worked in the bank. Is that in the bank, what will happen at the end of the day? There should be a reconciliation. At the end of the day, there should be a reconciliation. In the reconciliation, unless the reconciliation is not done, the physical cash and the registered cash is not matched, they cannot close for the day. Is it right? That is the challenge the operations managers at the bank will have to face. What is the accuracy we are talking about? That the cash receipts should be recorded at correct amounts. Is it right? Daily remittances. Daily we are depositing it. It has to be reconciled. We should not have a daily remittances, but we should also think about monthly reconciliation. The moment we are talking about reconciliation will go with the one word review. Is that the moment you think about writing reconciliation, you have to make sure that you are reviewing the reconciliation. Reconciliation with the bank and reconciliation with the evidence that has been performed. In terms of what? In terms of whether the bank reconciliation has been done with the evidence. Is it right? Whether it has been signed. Is it right? It has been signed by the appropriate authority. It says that how it is going to. Now you can make it in terms of accuracy. Is it right? In terms of now it's very, you have a complete a basic idea. Whenever you are talking in terms of the cash, there are three things. Is that you have to have a daily reconciliation, a monthly reconciliation of customers, monthly cash receipts agreed to the general and ledger. Is from the cash book, from cash book to the cash account. And apart from that, definitely what will happen, you will have the sales, you have the receivables. Is it right? You will have the cash. The receivables and the cash has to be reconciled. How much is the amount in receivables? Is it right? How much is the amount is receivable and how much we have received the cash. It has to be reconciled. Are you understanding what's happening? Is it? Now we don't need that much. Is that we have a clarity on that? Is it right? Very simple. It's not. It's just I don't want to skip the slides. That is the reason. Is it right? I don't want to make sure that we are skipping the slides. Is it right? The same thing is repeated. When in terms of accuracy, in terms of classification, in terms of valuation, you have to review. You have to review the procedures. You have to review the journal entries. posting of the general and subsequent. Is it right? The cutoff is also same. Is that it is with respect to what? With respect to the cash receipts accounted in the current accounting period. What you are doing? What is the control? Control with respect to bank reconciliation. And what is the test of control? Test of control is nothing but review of reconciliations. Last, the moment you talk about the presentation, it is nothing of appropriate account. Is it right? As per the chart of accounts, it has to be charged to the correct accounts as such. Is that we have to show in the correct accounts with respect to cash or with respect to bank. Subsequently, from where we have received. Is it right? We have to take into consideration the receivables from which customer we have received, and whether we have received in the form of cash, we have received in the form of cash. We have to update it. Is it right? We have to update it. That's what, to ensure that it has been correct amount. Chart of accounts in place. Is it? Chart of accounts is placed and reviewed regularly. It is a chart of accounts is a master file. They will ask, is it right? They will ask that the chart of accounts has been modified by the clerk, by the supervisor. No, whenever we are talking about the chart of accounts, any modification or any updation has to be reviewed or has to be authorized. Any changes in the chart of accounts have to be authorized by the finance director. What are the things? Definitely, whenever we are receiving cash, we have to receive cash. Is it right? From which person you are receiving? From which company we are receiving? Is it right? From which company? See what happens whenever there is a sales. For each customer, there will be a code. Whenever there is for each customer, for each supplier, is it right? There will be a code. Code is very important. What we are talking in terms of reconciliation is nothing but we are doing reconciliation individually. Is it? We are doing what? We are doing reconciliation. Reconciliation not only individually, is it? We are doing reconciliation individually, but also we are doing reconciliation as a group account. In terms of what? In terms of ledger. If we are talking individually, it is called as a sub-ledger. Is it? It is called as a sub-ledger. These are the things that, see, these are the things we have to maintain. Means we have always make it a point that how we are going to take side by side. See, when you talk about auditing, accounting has to be there. As per the accounting, auditing has to be worked it out. We are saying that yes, there will be a chart of accounts. You have to inspect the chart of accounts. We are saying that codes are in place. Definitely you have to see application controls. Means you have to see the software. Is it right? Application control means you have to see the software where the proper codes has been identified and allocated. Is that what they are saying? From the examination point of view, cash payments or cash receipts will be relevant to the controls with respect to what? Purchasing or sales. Is it right? So could be examined on the deficiencies with purchase or sales systems. They have not mentioned that it will be there. They have not given any question paper. It is if you are talking about the purchases or you are talking of the sales, they will include a portion, one or two points with respect to cash. Not like dedicated question for purchases, is it right? Not like dedicated question like sales, is it? It is a part of the purchases or sales. Because if you take purchases, there will be a cash payment. If you are taking the sales, there will be a cash receipts. Cash or bank. Okay, we'll complete payroll. Okay, we'll complete payroll slowly. I will teach very slowly. Okay, I will teach very slowly. Cash, fine, isn't it? Payroll is important, little bit important. It will be, is like, we will complete the payroll and we will stop. It is very crucial, is it? It is very, they have asked, is it right? They have asked, I think, in some cases, in some examinations, they have asked this question, is it right? It is important, it has not been mentioned here, but in some one or two examinations, is it right? They have asked this about the payroll. See why payroll is important is that payroll is important with respect to payment of salaries, is it right? Payment of salaries, whenever you are talking in terms of salaries, understand how the things will work with respect to payment of salaries. Again, you are talking about the existence, you are talking about the completeness, you are talking about the occurrence, existence, completeness, accuracy, cutoff, presentation, and disclosure. Is it right? You are having these things. See, you will pay to those people. See what happens whenever we are talking in terms of payroll. Is it? Payroll will be there. We are going to have payroll on daily basis, on weekly basis. Is it? Weekly basis. Semi-skilled. Is it? Unskilled people. Is it? Unskilled people in the factories. Is it right? They will have a concept of weekly payment. Is it right? And they are talking in terms of people who are on the rolls. They are going to have on the monthly basis. Definitely there will be people who are joining and there will be people who are leaving. Is it right? When we are talking about the daily or weekly basis, there are people who are doing on overtime basis. Is it? these are the things which we have to consider whenever we are talking in terms of payments. Okay, whenever we are talking about the payrolls, what happens, we have to, whenever we say existence, payment is only to bona fide employees. Bona fide is nothing but only to the registered and valid employees. There are two different departments, okay? Segregation of duties. The departments are what? HR is different, payroll is different. HR talks about only the staff, okay? The staff information. Is that yes, HR is not divided with accounts, whereas payroll is accountable for payments. Is it? HR will give the list, payments, payroll will do the payments. Two different departments. Personal files held for all employees. Existence. Is it? Your personal file will be there with your employer. Is it? For all employees, employers should have personal files. Authorization, how you are hiring, how there is a termination, how the time worked, what are the rates, anything with respect to overtime and anything with respect to benefits. Everything should be clearly defined. What will happen? Sometimes there will be promotion. Sometimes there will be demotion also. Any change in the status, it has to be informed to the HR department. Definitely, what will happen? Your pay will have impact. If there is a promotion, definitely there will be a change in pay. Use of time clocks to record. Now, is it right? Nowadays, what's happening? You are having a biometric system. In the previous case, you used to have the card system. Is it right? Now you have the biometric system. Even biometric system has been replaced with respect to what? Login computer. The moment you are logging to the computer, automatically what will happen? Your presence will be reflected when you have started the work, when you have ended the work. Is it right? Clock cards approved by the supervisor. This happens with respect to what? This happens with respect to unskilled labor. Only see, every employee will have employee numbers. Only employee with the valid numbers are paid, and you should have, when you are talking in terms of payroll, definitely there should be a budget. Fine. These are the controls, and subsequently for these controls there will be some test of controls. What you are doing? You are observing and evaluating. There is a segregation of duties. You will review who are the people who have joined, who are the people who have left the organization. You will review whether the authorization procedure of hiring is there or not. Is it right? Point number 3. Go to back. Is it right? Point number 3 says hiring, termination, workload, time worked, wages. Is it right? You will see that authorization. Always link it to the controls. Okay, link it to the controls. When you are revising this concept, make it sure the control and the test of control should be matched properly. Write down. If I don't have, I am not putting the lines, you put the lines and write. For this control, there is a test of control. Review policies. Existence what? Review policies in terms of any changes. Is it any promotions or demotions? What are the rules and regulations? Is it? What are the rules and what are the regulations? Whenever there is a change in the status. Observe time clocks. Is it right? Observe what? Time clocks in terms of what? Biometric system or logins. Is it? Logins by employees. Inspect a sample of clock cards. Is it right? For evidence that has been approved by whom? Approved by the appropriate level of the management. And review the procedures for entering and removing the employee numbers. When we should. And this has to be done where? This has to be done in the payroll master file. Is it? This has to be done on the payroll. Only authorized people should access this file. And whether you should make it a point that there is a budgeting procedures is there or not. Then only we will say it is the existence. Is it right? What is the completeness? See the things. To ensure that all payrolls are recorded, work done by the employees. You should have a pre-numbered. Pre-numbered is very important. Is it right? You should have anything. The numbers has to be there printed before it has been given. You should not write the employee numbers or anything manually. Is it right? When it is completeness, segregation of duties. In terms of what? In terms, one person is reviewing, one person is authorizing. There should be a reconciliation. Is it right? Reconciliation of payroll records. With respect to what? With respect to the cost. Is it right? What is the record and what is the payment? Is that you have the record and how much you have recorded and how much you have transferred the salary. Is that comparisons? You will say what is the checkbooks and bank transfer. How much you have written on the checkbook and what is the bank transfer you have. It has been in the bank book. Preparation and authorization of checks by the and bank. Who is preparing and who is authorizing checks with respect to bank. Now for the same, is it right? You have to make you have to review numerical sequence. Now you can understand. Yesterday somebody has told, I know who has told, but they say that you have to revise it. It is a revision, is it right? It is a revision. Means you have a numerical sequence. Everywhere it will come by default. Is it right? You have to be smart, as simple as that. You should not work hard. You have to be smart. Yes. How we can score the marks easily. You have to review whenever there is a reconciliation, you have to review a sample of reconciliation. Comparison of checks, you have to inquire whether there is a comparison is made by the management. And last but not the least, you are making a preparation and authorization of the checkbooks. You have to examine how the checks has been issued and who is the person to ensure that whether it has been done by a authorization. If that is the case, it is a completeness. Accuracy in terms of what? Mathematical accuracy. Is it right? Same thing, valuation, classification. Is it right? What you are doing when you are talking about the accuracy, to ensure that all benefits and deductions. Is it? Sometimes you will get the benefits. Benefits should be added. Any deduction should be. You have the insurance. Is it right? You have the insurance. You have that social security. Is it right? You have something. Is it right? Any loan has been taken. Is it right? Personal loans. Is it right? From the employer. Is it right? Those are going to be deducted. Yes or no. Then only it is going to be called as accurate. Is it right? You are doing a re-performance. You do again to know what the sample of payrolls, whether the benefits and deductions has been done. Payroll budgets are in place or not. Most importantly, the budgets, you have to prepare the budget plus or minus. Is it right? And it has been reviewed by the management. Yeah. What is the gross and what is the net amount? Is it right? What is the gross and what is the they will be here. We don't have taxation. Is it right? But here we are talking in terms of something called as pension funds. Is that something called as pension fund? You are talking in terms of insurance. Is it right? You are talking in terms of medical benefits. Is that every organization? Is that they have different levels, different perks will be there. Is it right? You should have that control. That you have to match with gross and the net amount. Again, when you are doing the re-performance, you will review. When you are talking about the payroll budgets in place, you will review the budgeting process, and more importantly, you will inspect whether the gross and net amount is same or not. Is it? Continuation to that. What will say whether they have recorded in the accounting system. Is it? They have recorded in the accounting systems in terms of salaries, in terms of income statement. And it has to be debited. We have to make sure, is it right? Is it payroll correctly? We have to know that what is there before and what is there after. Is it accounting system? Definitely, it is that what will happen? The cash will decrease, the salaries will increase. The payroll master file is reconciled with the general ledger as such. Is it? Payroll master file means, yes, definitely how it has been posted in the general ledger as an expense. Is that what you do when you are making a changes in the master file? You will review the reconciliation, what happened before and what happened after, and payroll master file you will review that how we master payroll file and the general ledger has been reconciled. If there is any discrepancies, any mismatching, then you will follow up. That is the valuation. Now, when you are talking in terms of classification, what you are doing, we are focusing on what? You are focusing on the accounting system. When you focus on the accounting system, technically we are talking in terms of what? In terms of general ledger. Fine. See, they are little bit attach a flavor of what? IT now. Is it right? They are whatever the current developments. Is it right? Whatever happening in the current developments, they will take that into consideration. As simple as that. We are talking in terms of cutoff. We take into consideration only the date aspect. Is it? Only the date aspect as such. They say that whether it has, the same thing is there. We are not going to do anything. It has been accounted in the correct period. We'll say that yes, well, all the people who have joined, people who have left, any changes in the salaries, is it right? Any changes in the updated to the payroll master file, is it right? Any changes with respect to the payroll department change, is it right? They will make it a point that it has been done before date. When you do the things, definitely they will say that all starters and relievers, they will see what is the procedures, how they are reporting the changes. And whenever we are doing that, we will make it sure who are the people who have joined, is it right? Who are the people who have joined and who are the people who have left. Is it? They based on this the things. The last one, what it says, they are talking in terms of what? We are talking in terms of presentation and disclosure. Same thing, statement of financial position. We'll make sure that how to ensure that the payroll transactions are classified. The moment you are talking about classification, it is nothing but we are taking into consideration the coding. Anywhere classification is coding only. The chart of accounts, is it right? It's a chart of accounts. The independent, we are talking about that there should be a chart of accounts. Employee code, is it right? We are talking in terms of what? Employee code. Independent approval of and review of the accounts which has been charged to the payroll. Is it basically which account? It is only a cash or it will be a bank. And you should have the payroll budgets. Is that overall statement of financial? We have, see, when you are talking about the payroll budgets, they will make it clearly the monthly budget, and they are talking in terms of yearly budget. When you are talking about the controls, you are talking about the review the chart of controls. You are talking about review the procedures with respect to what? Payroll cost, how you are going to classify it, how you are going to cash account with the expenses account. Is it right? I will write again cash or bank with what? With the expenses account, salary expenses. Again, the salary expenses should be divided what? Should be classified with the individual employees. Is that we have to classify with individual employees. Now see the thing. What is the reconciliation we are doing? We do a reconciliation here, we do a total. Is it right? This total should be matched with the expenses. Is that right? This total should be matched with the expenses. This expenses total should be matched with what? How much we have transferred it. You remember? Here if it is going to be 50,000 salary total, here it is also going to be how much? It has to be 50,000, and your cash should also decrease by how much? 50,000. Is it? That's why we are talking about the reconciliation as such. Is it? Review procedures of payroll cost, and last but not the least, if we have to know how the budgeting procedure has been done. Fine. Is it okay? Yeah, what we have done today, we have done with respect to what? We have done the question paper. Is it? We have done a question on from December 2010. Is it right? December 2010 only now we have done? Yes. Is that we have done? Is that we have done with respect to what? We have done with respect to cash payments. We have done with respect to cash receipts. Is it right? We have done with respect to payroll. More than enough. Is it right? Within the time we have done, alhamdulillah. Fine. Take your time. Understand my point? Take your time. You have Thursday, Friday. Slowly and steadily. Revise one at a time. Take half an hour, revise it, leave it. Okay, take a break. Is it right? Take half an hour, revise, take a break. And subsequently what will happen? It will make sense.